Hi everyone. So first thing that we need to do today is to go to Google, and then you need to log in to your school email account. Once you've done that, we're then going to click on the Google Apps, and this time then we're going to go into Google Docs. So at this point, pause the video if you're working at home, log into your email, and then click on the dots and go to Google Docs. Okay, so stop the video now, do that, and then come back. Okay, well, once you've done that, we're going to go to a new blank document, and we're going to click up there where it says Untitled Document, and in capitals we're going to put logo, and then just in normal case prog 1. So that's logo programs 1. Okay, and then we can just click back down here. Next thing that I want you to do then is, we're going to do this bit in capitals, type in task 0. Okay, so not task 1, task 0. If you want to you can highlight that and change it into a size 12, and then if you press enter after that, then everything will be just a little bit bigger and easier to see. The next thing that we need to do is go up to the top here and open up a new tab. So we're going to open up a new tab, and you will have a link to this site on the school website, but we're going to load up this one, which is our logo interpreter that we've looked at before. Once we've got this loaded up, we're going to go down to this arrow here, click that to make it a little bit bigger. So stop there, new tab, the logo interpreter, and make the bottom part a little bit bigger. So pause the video, do that so that we're set up for the next part. Okay, so if everyone's done that and we're back again, so what we're going to do for task 0, we're going to put some commands in. So we're going to start off down here with CS. So CS is clear screen. Then we're going to put in set pen size, all one word, set pen size. Then a space, and we're going to say 3. So it just makes the lines a little bit thicker, makes them easier to see. Then we're going to put set pen color. Now, the thing you need to look at very carefully is that color is not spelled correctly. So because this is an American program, we've got to spell color in the American way. So if we type it normally, we would put C-O-L-O-U-R. For now we need to put C-O-L-O-R. So we're going to set pen color to 1. Okay, and then press enter. So we've got our 3 setup lines there. So here's what we're going to do then. For the next part, we're going to draw a triangle. So we're going to do this the long way that we looked at a few weeks ago. So we're going to put in FD 200. Then we're going to put RT 120. And again, FD 200, RT 120, FD 200. We've got to end up back where we started from, so I'm going to put in RT 120. When you've done that, you can click Run, and you should get a blue triangle on the screen. So stop the video and enter those. There will be a PDF on the website with each of these on, just in case you're not certain, and you can copy them from there. So pause the video, do that, come back again. Okay, so if you've done that, then we're just on to the next part here now. What we're going to do now is we're going to go just before CS. We're going to highlight everything there. Then we're going to right click and copy, or if you're on a laptop or PC, you can use Ctrl C. Now back up here at the top, we've got our tab with our Word document in, and then we can right click and paste. So what we've done now, we've got our first program in there. This will save as we go, so even if something happens to this program here, then we know that we've still got it back in Google Docs, and we're going to do the rest of the lesson just like that. So what I want us to do now is go back to our logo interpreter, and we're going to type in clear. Now notice it doesn't clear the screen, so let's do that now. We're going to type in CS, then we're going to type in set pen size again, and we're still going to set it to 3. Press enter, and this time run that, and that will clear the screen for us. So if you need to, pause the video now, type those 2 commands in, come back. Okay, so if you've done them, we're now going to highlight those 2. We're going to copy them. We're going to go back to our Google Docs. You need to make sure we've left 1 line after task 1, and then we're going to put, after task 0. So after task 0, leave 1 line, and then we're going to put task 1. Underneath task 1, we're going to paste in our first 2 lines of the program. So again, pause the video, catch up with that part there. Before we go back, we're going to type in task 2, just so it's ready for us when we come back here. We're going to go back to our logo interpreter. So this time now on line 3, we're going to put set pen color to, I'm going to put 1, but you can choose which one you want to use from 1 to 14. Don't use color 7 because that's white and we won't be able to see it on the background here. Okay, so let's just keep it simple and put set pen color 1. So here's what I want you to do now. We're going to highlight those 3 lines. We're going to copy them. We're going to go back into our Google Docs and we're going to paste them in there. So now let's put in task 3. And we're going to go back to our logo interpreter. Now, I'm just going to show you something now. I don't want you to do this, but just in case something goes wrong. So if I accidentally clear that and lose my program, what we can do is come back here, copy those, go back in, make sure you click on line 1, and we can paste it back in. That is why we're putting our programs here, so that we don't lose them if something goes wrong with our program there. Okay, so on to our next task then. So we are going to be now doing task 3. So task 3, we're going to do a triangle, but this time we're going to do it all in 1 line. And we looked at this last time, so I will very quickly just remind you about that with a video from last time. If we take this equilateral triangle and we're going to use this here as our turtle, let's just think about exactly how it's going to draw that. So turtle's pointing up, and that's where it needs to end when it's finished drawing the shape. So in this case, the turtle moves forward, then it will turn, then it will move forward, then it will make turn number 2, then it will move forward, and it will make turn number 3. So altogether, the turtle has gone around 360 degrees because it's ended up exactly where it started. It's done it in 3 turns. So from that, if we then work out 360 divided by 3, we will get 120. This works for any shape. So if we take 360, which is a full circle, and we divide it by the number of sides of the shape, that will always give us the turn angle. So if we go back into our logo interpreter now, let's go back to drawing our square. So we've got our repeat for FD200, and let's do a right turn of 360 divided by 4, and then close the bracket and run that. So we will get our square. Let's try it with a different shape. So if we said repeat 7, all we need on the end is 360 divided by 7. We don't need to know what that number is because the computer will work it out as it goes, and that will give us our heptagon. Now we're going to draw a triangle again, but this time we're going to draw it in one line. So we type in repeat, R-E-P-E-A-T, then a space, then 3. Then we want the square bracket. So on most keyboards that's next to the P key. If you notice the computer is putting the close bracket in for me as well, that's fine. So what we're going to do now is say forward 100, then a space, a right turn. Now we used 120 before, but as we know we can calculate any angle by using 360 divided by the number of sides. So we type in 360 /4 divide and then 3. So let's run that program and we get our triangle. So if you need to, pause the video, make sure you are up to date with line 4. Okay, so if you're back again, what we're going to do now, we're going to highlight all 4 lines. We are going to copy them. We're going to go back up to our Google Docs and we're going to paste those underneath task 3. Now, a thing to remember at this stage, task 3, we've just drawn a shape with 3 sides, a triangle. So now we're on to task 4. So we go back to our logo interpreter. We're leaving all that there, so be careful. Click after that, repeat line, and then press enter. So what we're going to do now, we're going to put set pen color. Make sure you don't put a U in color, we need to spell it incorrectly. And I'm going to go to color 2. Then we're going to put repeat 4, square bracket, FD 100. So we're always going to use FD 100 today. So FD 100 and then RT 360 divided by the number of sides. Well, if we're repeating 4 times, it's got to have 4 sides for a square. Make sure that square bracket's on the end. So go to the very end of the line and press enter. So now we can run the program. We know it works, good. So now we highlight those, we copy them, we go back up to here, we paste them in. Press enter. Task 5. We're going to continue this program, but this time we're going to change the pen color. So we've used 1 and 2, I'm going to use 3 next, and then we're going to draw a pentagon. So it will be a repeat of 5, and the right turn will be 360 divided by 5. So let's go back there. Make sure you always click at the end of that line and press enter. So set pen color, and we're going to use 3, and then repeat 5, square brackets, FD 100, RT 360 divided by 5, close the brackets, press enter just so that we're safe and we know it's there, and then run that. So now it will add a 3rd shape to our pattern here, and then again you can start at the bottom or you can start at the top. We're going to highlight all the programs so far, we're going to copy it, we're going to go back into here, and we are going to paste it in. So press enter there. Task 6. Now don't worry at the moment about how many pages this takes up, we can sort that out later. So we've got task 6 now. Task 6, you are going to change pen color and you are going to draw a 6-sided shape. Then on task 7, you are going to change pen color and draw a 7-sided shape. Task 8, change pen color, 8-sided shape. Just remember, when you get to the 7-sided shape, you can't use set pen color 7 because otherwise it will be white and we won't see the shape. Task 9, we will be doing a 9-sided shape. Task 10, we will be doing a 10-sided shape. So that is your task now, to keep coming back to here, typing in the name of the task, going back to our logo interpreter. You might have to scroll down a little bit there. So now we've just done the 5-sided shape. So Sorry, made a mistake there. Let's get that right. I'm going to set the pen colour. So I've used 1, 2 and 3. I might just change that completely now and do 12. As long as we don't use 7 and we stay from 1 to 14. So now repeat 6 FD 100 right turn 360 divided by 6. Close the bracket, press enter and then run. So now we get our hexagon added on, and again then we highlight everything, we copy it, we go into here, task 6, paste it in. Let's get a place ready for task 7, and then we're going to go back and you're going to then add your 7-sided shape, and like I said, task 8, 8-sided shape, 9-sided shape, 10-sided shape. Task 10, stop, because then we've got an extension task that we can do after that. So you need to pause the video now and you need to go and complete tasks 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And the PDF from the website will help you with those if you're not certain. Once you've completed your shapes up to the decagon, 10 sides, what you should have then is this sort of pattern with different colours on the screen, and then up in your Google Docs you should have task 10 with all of your program there. So what we're going to do with this now is just going to try and tidy things up a little bit. So we're going to go to edit, select all. So it selects everything there. We're going to go to format, then we're going to go to columns, and we're going to go to 2 columns. So it's going to be edit, select all, format, columns, and pick 2 columns so that your work goes down one side of the page, down the other. Pause the video, tidy up your work with that. Okay, so if you've done that, we're ready then to move on. So we're going to go to the end of task 10, press enter, and we're ready now for task 11. So let's go back to our logo interpreter. What we're going to do now, we've got our turtle drawing all those shapes. To make a better pattern there, or a more complex pattern, what we're going to do is get it to draw those, then it's going to turn 90 degrees and draw them again. Then it's going to turn 90 degrees and it's going to draw them again. It's going to turn 90 degrees, it's going to draw them again. Down here on our program, we need to go to the end of line 2 and press enter. So line 3 is now blank, and then underneath that we've got the set pen color and the repeat 3 to draw our triangle. We're going to put in another loop, a repeat. So I'm going to say repeat 4, and then I'm going to put on our square bracket. Now this time when the computer tries to help us by closing the bracket, we're going to press delete, not backspace, delete. So I've got repeat 4 square bracket. We're now going to go down to the bottom of the program. On our last line there after the 10 and the square bracket, press enter. Now we're going to finish that loop off. So we're now going to say a left turn of 90. Now close the square bracket. So what we're doing, we're drawing all of that and we're turning 90 degrees, and we're going to do it 4 times because that's as many 90-degree turns as we can fit into a circle. So we run this and you should get a pattern something like that. So pause the video, make those changes. So on the new line 3, remember we're going to press enter after set pen size 3. We're putting repeat 4 square bracket, nothing else. Going down to the bottom and we're putting LT 90 square bracket. Type those in, but do not type those in, pause the video whilst you do that, and then come back. Okay, so once you've got those, we now need to again copy all of that. We're going to go back to logo 1, and for task 11 we're going to paste those in. Press enter. Task 12. So task 12, we're going to come back to here and we're going to make some changes now. So this time I'm going to say repeat 3. So down here, a little bit like we did with our shapes, if we're trying to fit these evenly into a circle, if we're doing 3 of them, we want a turn of 360 divided by 3. So let's run that. Okay, so we're there at that stage. Now, I don't want you to put this program into your logo programs yet. Okay, so I've just made those 2 changes. What I want you to do is pick your own. So don't pick ridiculous numbers. You can't repeat 100 because you'll be sat there for ages. So if we say any number up to maybe 16 or something like that. So I might go with 12. So I'm going to repeat 12. But if we do that, we've got to do our final left turn of 360 divided by 12. And now let's run that. And we get these different patterns on the screen. So once you've got a pattern like that, you can then highlight, copy it. Let's go back to our logo programs. Task 12, let's paste that one in. Now, this stage, there's one more thing that you can try. It depends on what device you're on. So ideally, it'd be nice to get a picture of that. So if you can, I want you to take a screen print of it. So on a PC or laptop, there's a print screen button at the top right near F12. So you would just press print screen and then go back into here, and when you paste, that then pastes the picture of the screen that you've just taken. Press print screen. When we go back to here, we can right click and paste, and it will paste in a picture of your screen there, so we can see that pattern underneath it. If you can't manage to put your picture on, that's fine. We've got your program. We can always put that into the program to have a look at it. So if you've got time after that, then you can put in a task 13, and then down here then now you can try for some different patterns. So we might say this time that we're going to go repeat 16. We might change some of these colors around as well. So we might say set pen color 12 to set pen color 13, set pen color 9, something like that, just so you get some different patterns. Just remember, if we change that to 16, we've got to change this to 16 as well. So we can run that, and we get a slightly different pattern when we go with that. If you want to try higher numbers, now would be the time to do it, because if it crashes this program or things don't work, then it doesn't matter because you've already got your work done. So we could try now, let's do a repeat of 60 and see where we get there. Okay, so we've got most of our pattern, a little bit odd in some of the places, so I think it's not working too well with all of those, but just experiment with it. So you can take that back down again. Let's try 30 and just see what we end up with on some of those. Okay, so we get our different patterns as we go through. If you get a nice one, take a screen print of it and put it in with your work. Final thing that you need to do is you're going to have to email your work to your teacher. So if you remember, for that, when you go into, you need to go into your email, send an email to your teacher, and at the bottom you will have an attached document. There is a video on the website to show you how to do that.